Good morning and welcome to Kramer's Corner with Daily Technical Update. It is Monday and it is the 17th of November. As usual, this video is for educational purpose only. There's no recommendation or advice whatsoever intended. It is purely to demonstrate how I try to read the market using technical analysis and my experience with market development, and try to see patterns in the market. And let's start with the S&P 500. And Friday we opened quite lower, but buyers came in almost from the get-go and lifted it back to close basically unchanged. But let's see what's happening here. We still have this rising trend line here. It closed back above the 55 moving average. It's almost hugging it here. So we are still in this, well, I would say let's wait and see what happens. There is divergence on the RSI, so there's uptrend exhaustion indication. We have lower tops here, lower highs, but we don't really have much lower lows because it actually closed back above these lows over here. So there's not a confirmed downtrend. Key support 6,550. However, I think if it takes out and closes below the low here from the 7th of November at 6,631, well, then we could establish a bearish trend that could be confirmed by a close below 6,550. If it moves back above the peak there at 6,870, well, then we could have the uptrend resuming. So we are basically in a wait and see mode at the moment. On the Nasdaq 100, same picture really here, and we have the divergence on the RSI indicating uptrend exhaustion, but we don't have established a bearish trend just yet. And key support here at 24,186. Dow Jones still in a bullish trend, didn't take out the lows there either. So also, let's wait and see what happens here the next few days. But that could change the picture. Moving on to what's happening in the pre-market, we can see here, and we are back to Nasdaq 100. Yeah, it may be clearly to see it bounced back above the rising trend line and closed also well above it. Just tested the upper part of the cloud, 24,652. Well, that support there. So still key to what's, and here pre-market we are actually bouncing further. We can see here is the future, the Nasdaq mini future, also bouncing here pre-market. So let's see what happens later today. Here we have the S&P 500 mini future, also bounced from the rising trend line. The small cap index, the Russell 2000 here, it's the ETF we're always looking at. Bounced also strong. Buyers came in from the get-go and closed just a few pips below the support and now resistance line there, spiked a little bit above. So let's see what's going on. But we actually have established a bearish trend, but it just needs further confirmation for that. In Asian market, well, set back a little bit on the Hang Seng. But we are still in a bullish trend, as we can see here. Positive sentiment could push higher, of course, depending what's going to happen in the US market. So I think that will be a leading indicator there also. Nikkei basically unchanged today, so it's also this wait and see mode here. We are in an uptrend exhaustion, and we could be range bound for quite some time unless it takes out 49,125. Then we can see a lower correction there. So let's see what's going to play out also there. I will wait and see what's going on. There's no clear signal other than uptrend exhaustion. We had massive sell-off in EuroStoxx50 during most of the session, and then it bounced towards the ends and closed not that bad actually. Still a bullish trend, but there's also RSI divergence there indicating uptrend exhaustion. Here pre-market up just a tad. So let's see what's gonna play out there. Also massive sell-off in DAX 2 days in a row. We had on the 13th and then on the 14th, dipping below this 23,684, dipping we were below the cloud again, and negative sentiment just slightly. So big, I mean, it's like massive volatility, but really no clear signal. I think if it moves back above the cloud, then well, it could resume uptrend. If it takes out the lows from Friday, well, then we could see a more deeper bearish move. But there's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of nervousness in the market at the moment. Here, pre-market bouncing a little bit. Euro dollar, well, after being rejected twice here, just below the cloud, here at the cloud and the 55-100, putting a lid on it there, I think we will slide back here the next few days. Still negative sentiment on the RSI. I think we will slide back unless it really can get back above 116.70 here, then maybe we could establish a bullish trend. But for now, I think we will slide back here in the next few days. If it takes out what is it, 115.75, then I think we will see it accelerate a little bit. The sterling dollar pair dancing a little bit sideways. It's actually closed high there late last week. So could push higher here towards 132.40, maybe even up to around 133 and the 200 moving average. But again, look at these. We have the 55 and 100 moving averages coming down, putting a lid on it basically. So I think the upside is fairly limited, but there is potential negative sentiment, and I think we will eventually see a bearish trend resuming. If we move back below 130.80, well, then a bearish trend is likely to resume with a push below 130. Euro sterling, massive spike up there Friday. Couldn't hold on, which was quite strange there. But it spiked almost up to the 161.8 projection. So it needs to take out that really to push higher. And what I will do, I will reverse this so we can see, well, where are there some levels. We have retraced almost 61.8 retracement. So a little bit uncertainty there. Still key support 87.60, but all the moving averages are pushing higher, and also weekly, as we can see, also indicating high levels, despite the fact we have this, well, shooting star-like pattern. It's not a real one, but it's still shooting up there, and then it declined really. So we could be range bound or sideways trading here for a few days. The dollar yen still struggling with just below 155, 150. 480 can't really seem to get well, it does spike a little bit above it, but you see Friday also quite a bit volatility. So we have this rising wedge-like pattern. If it takes out 152.80, well, then we are likely in for a correction that could take us lower. So let's see about that. Well, if that plays out, then I would put a Fibonacci on it here, and then we could see it down to around 150.80, possibly 149.80, but we are not there yet, so keep an eye on it. We can still push higher. We are in a bullish trend despite the fact we do have some divergence on the RSI indicating uptrend exhaustion, but no confirmation just yet. Euro yen got rejected there, or reached the 138.2 projection at 180 and then set back. I still think it could push higher. We can see RSI got back above its falling trend line there and skidding just off it from the other side, and I think we could see it pushing higher. If it takes out Friday's peak and take out 180, then we are looking at 180.75, possibly above 181. Other than that, maybe a little bit of a setback. Aussie yen, yeah, it's really frustrating, isn't it, with all these spikes and what have we, almost up to 102, didn't get all the way up there, but it needs to take out that peak. Then I think we'll see it push up to 103. If it takes out the lows there from Friday at 100.20, well, then we can see it sliding back in this area here, but we're still in a bullish trend. As we can see, it's just we have uptrend exhaustion. So let's see here, a bit undecided really, but in the bigger picture we are still in a bullish trend. The sterling yen, well, it is 204.25 that needs to be taken out for a bullish move. I think it will do it, but I need confirmation. If it does, well, then I think we'll see it also taking out that peak there at 205.30 something towards 206 and higher. We could also guesstimate how much it will be. It's probably up to around 206 and a quarter. That could be the potential short-term target. Aussie dollar, well, after this spike up here, so we are still a little bit depressed, can't really get its mojo back, and we, again, as I said, range bound here for quite some time. Really frustrating sometimes. It's not really easy to read. Strong support down here with the 200 moving average coming up. You can see the 100 putting a lid on it, and especially the 55 moving average and the cloud. So no clear direction for Aussie dollar. The dollar Canada, yeah, so where are we? What I will do, I will put in a horizontal line there, and then I will add another one there and say that's the breakout. A very tight range, 140.45 to the upside. I think if it takes out that, then it will resume uptrend towards 141 for 142. If it takes out 139.80 here, it's the 61.8 retracement it bounced off of, then we could see it dipping down to 139.40, where we have some strong support. Positive sentiment, no divergence on the RSI, indicating dollar Canada to resume uptrend. Sterling Canada, it's still this range here, 185.50 and 183.20 to the downside, so look out for that. Euro Swiss, we talked about it. If it could take out these, that was potential to dip below 92, and it did it Friday, and they also did it this morning, opening this morning here. We are in a negative sentiment on the RSI, but that could be a strong bounce we could see. So what I will do, well, I will remove this for now, at least, unless it takes out the lows from Friday and possibly also this morning. We have a bounce almost up to the 38.2. We could see it bouncing further and remove this one. So that's where we are at the moment for Euro Swiss. A bigger picture, well, we are in a bearish trend, but maybe that was an exhaustion move. You can also see there is divergence on the RSI. These lows over here are higher than here, so maybe we could see a bounce. Not gonna see a bullish trend anytime soon, but a bounce maybe up to 92.70 and then back again, because we have the 100 coming down, we have the 55 coming down, so that is pushing, and we also have the 200, so that will push it lower potentially in the coming weeks. Dollar Swiss, of course, also dipped lower Friday, almost down to these lows here, then bounced. And what we can do now here, we can also change or add a new Fibonacci, so we can get a little bit of and this is how you can work with it yourself at these levels here. Just need to place it there. 38.2 at 79.15. Well, that could maybe be it. And the key, if it can move back above 80, then it could establish maybe a bullish trend. But there's some strong resistance in this area. So let's see about that. If it takes out the lows from Friday, well, then there's levels in the 78 region. The dollar index bouncing off, didn't get all the way down to the 61.8 retracement as I did expect. It actually stopped midway through it. What we can do, we have a more clear move there, so it didn't get doesn't really give us much. But what it does give us is that I will add a new one. I'll just slide this a little bit to the side, and then I will add a new one. And you can also change the colors of it so it's easier to see. However, so we have bounced here. So I think if it starts bouncing further, I actually think it will crawl higher. We still have a positive sentiment on the RSI. There's actually no divergence, as we can see. Well, then we could see dollar index resuming uptrend, but still have this 200 moving average kind of putting a lid on it. So if it takes out the lows from Thursday and Friday last week, well, then I think we could see it down to 98.30, where we have the 55 and 100 moving average coming up, giving some support. Moving on to gold. Well, did get all the way up to 786 retracement there last week. Then it got knocked down, sitting back. So what I will do, just to illustrate what has been going on, it has set back here to the 61.8 retracement, as we can see, and I think now it will bounce. We are still in this bullish trend here, and if it takes out 42.45, which I believe it will eventually, then we will see a push up towards 4,500, but we're not just there yet. Still positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels, but if it takes out Friday's lows, then we could see it sliding back to 39.60 area. The silver spot sitting back 50%, still bullish trend. Strong resistance up here just below 55 that needs to be taken out for really a move higher towards $60. I still think it will do it eventually, but there is a lot of, I think, nervousness here. Also positive sentiment on the RSI, currently not much of divergence, so I think we will see it pushing up there. However, if it takes out the lows from Friday, then we could see it setting back to below $50, 48.90 area. Platinum, big range bound there, so let's just move on. It's still the same range. It needs to break out. Copper also lagging a little bit. Let's zoom in. There we are. I think it will crawl higher eventually, but I need the RSI to get back above 60 threshold just to confirm that. So we are not really there yet. We are in a bullish trend, as we can see here, but it is having some really problems with the 528 area here that it needs to take out to really shoot higher. And I think it will take some time. However, as we talked about many times, 55 broke above 200. They're both rising. So medium term underlying trend is bullish. Moving on to the energy market, and WTI crude oil still bearish trend after this bounce, despite this bounce. So we are still in a bearish trend there. Needs to get back above 62.60 to establish a bullish trend, and doesn't really seem like it. On moving average lower, negative sentiment. I think we will push lower eventually. Oil, same, the Brent crude oil, same picture really. So if it takes out the lows there from the 13s at 62.34, well, then a downtrend is likely to push a little below $60. European nat gas, well, it's the 30s, but 30 that it bounced from, so we are still in the bigger picture, range bound. The Henry Hub US nat gas looks quite toppish at the moment. To be honest, we do have a bearish engulfing here on the weekly. We also have it. Oh, that's not weekly. Sorry. Let's move. There we are. We do have a bearish engulfing there on the daily. We had the market price shoot up here and then set back. So we do have a top and reversal in place. It's just a question how much will it reverse to, and we could add a Fibonacci to it's almost straight line up there. What I will do, however, I will adjust a little bit because that was the last leg, more straight leg up here. So there is some support here around 415 area. We could sit back to that level here. It looks very choppy. Also medium term, but positive sentiment on the RSI, indicating likely higher levels on the medium term after a correction. I think we will see a correction there. On the yields, interest rates, US Treasury yields, US 10-year Treasury yields, well, it is still the 415 here, but the really strong one is actually 420. That will be the key one. To the downside, 405. That is the support that should be kept an eye on. So a breakout of that range, that will determine the direction. I think we will be range bound there for quite a bit. The European yields, they are crawling higher. We saw it Friday up to the 272, where we have it's the 786 retracement of this downtrend there. So we are actually in a bullish trend, positive sentiment indicating likely higher levels. I think we will be sideways here for a little bit, but if it takes out the Friday peak, well, then there's room up to 279. UK 10, massive move Friday, after they couldn't break the strong support area down here, and we have bounced 50% of this downtrend there, We hit the 55 moving average. I think in the coming days we will crawl higher. We have not opened today just yet. It's probably only a few minutes away. And I think we'll see it pushing up to a 460 area. Also, Japanese 10-year pushing higher, further confirming the bullish trend. I think we'll see 175 being reached fairly shortly, possibly higher. And finally, Bitcoin dipped to the support. Let's remove this one there. 92,800 and then bounced. And I think actually we'll see a bounce here the next few days. Key question is how much could it bounce? I will actually adjust it down to this one. There we are. I think we could see it bounce up to a little bit. So possibly up to around 98,000 area, maybe up to 100,000 up here. Let's see about that. Ethereum dip below there, so I will adjust that. So maybe that was a little bit of exhaustion. You can see RSI lows here higher than here, so we have a little bit of trend exhaustion. I think we'll see it bouncing a bit further towards the 3,500, maybe up to 3,600. All right, that's all for today. Have a nice day and talk to you again tomorrow.